We're going to learn how to do backwards manuals. The backwards manual is one of those tricks that when you see somebody do it, at least when I saw someone do it, I thought it was just awesome. I just really wanted to learn how to do it. But there's kind of a lot to think about when you're doing them, and it's not really exactly what you would think when you think of a backwards manual. There is going to be a difference whether or not you have a free coaster or you have a cassette hub. I have a cassette hub. You know, hear the clicks, and so when I go backwards, my pedals will also go backwards with the bike. So when you're doing backwards manuals, it looks like the person is pedaling the bike backwards or something, and it's similar to fakies. It's just because you have to, because otherwise you would just stop moving because you're not moving the pedals with the bike. I don't have much experience doing it with a free coaster. Actually, I have no experience doing it with a free coaster. However, I do know that with a free coaster, your positioning on your bike is a little bit different. On a free coaster, it's a little bit closer to a normal manual, but with a cassette hub, when you're doing a backwards manual, it's a little bit closer to a wheelie because you are more so relying on crank pressure to keep it going. So if you have a free coaster, sometimes you can do them a little bit longer, a little bit further than if you have a cassette hub. Alright, so the first step to learning this trick is finding a wall. What you want to do is find a straight wall that you can roll up onto and push off with your bike to get you starting to go backwards, because otherwise it is a little bit difficult to start trying to learn the backwards manuals like out of a 180 or something. Like, you want to learn it off a wall first. Backwards manuals are one of those tricks that really just take a lot of practice, just like normal manuals. They take a while to learn, and it's just small increments going further and further. I pretty much gauge it by how many back pedals I'm doing, like half a crank or a full crank, or how many I'm doing backwards. After you push off of the wall to get into the backwards manual, most likely you'll start getting into the position of the backwards manual, but the front end is just going to fall down once you start pedaling backwards. If that's happening, it's pretty much just because you're not really leaning back far enough. You have to lean back pretty far in order to get this trick right. Definitely going to fall off the back of your bike. Sometimes are scarier than other times when you're falling off the back of your bike. You can't really get too hurt as long as you know how to fall. You don't want to hit your head. You know, you should probably wear a helmet. Practice falling off the back of your bike. If that's something you don't practice, that's definitely something you need to know how to do with the backwards manuals, because you are going to fall off the back of your bike a lot. And if you're not, it's because you're not leaning back far enough. Also, in the backwards manuals, you pretty much want to keep your whole core pretty tense. You don't want to be all floppy. You want to have really good composure. Keep your front wheel straight in the middle when you're doing them. You don't want to be turning to the left or turning to the right when you're doing them, because it'll mess you up and you won't keep it going. If you're gonna fall backwards, you just want to lean forwards. But if you are too far forwards and you have enough momentum, you can kind of feel in your cranks to add a little bit more pressure in your chain in order to go back further again into that position. It's kind of hard to explain. You really have to feel this trick out. If I run it in reverse, you can actually see that it looks really similar to a wheelie. When you're doing this trick, it actually feels more so like a wheelie rather than a manual, surprisingly. So it's really just a lot in crank pressure. Hopefully this video helped you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments what videos you want me to make next. Thanks for the support, and peace out.